Hello everybody and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I am your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Playalog, and today we're talking about the Blue Jays offseason. We're looking at it as a whole, basically, and we're basically answering the question, is it time to panic based on what we've seen go down so far? Before we get into all that, though, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment your thoughts down below about this Blue Jays offseason, and TODAYJAYS is the code for Betstamp, so hop onto that. You get some sweet deals and discounts. Now, first things first, I think that we need to just kind of like give this video an overview as to why we're even making this thing in the first place. In the last 48 hours, a lot of free agency news has gone down at the winter meetings as expected. Who signed in the last 48 hours?
Yeah, I mean, well, just so you guys know, we're recording this at about 7:30-ish on the Tuesday night, so this is going to come out a little bit later, so people could already be off this board, but so far, Bellinger, Heaney, those are the big two that came off today that we've both been heavily regarded as favorites for. Then obviously DeGrom, Verlander, Gibson, and other pitchers and outfielders that we could possibly be interested in, like Clevenger, Anderson, Eflin. All those guys are off the board, so all these guys are going off like rapid fire, and the Blue Jays, they're pretty much radio silence right now. Now, is it time to panic at this rate with these many guys going off the board? Is it time to panic for the Toronto Blue Jays?
Well, here's the thing, guys. This offseason, this has not gone according to quote-unquote plan. Like, this has not been, I think, what a lot of us expected. First off, we got the absolute, like, bombshell of Teoscar Hernandez, a fan favorite, getting traded. Now, I think a lot of us kind of have come to terms with that. We understand what that was. But let's face it, we probably took an L on that deal as far as just value goes.
For like next year, right?
Exactly. We probably took an L on that deal just for value. That's the only thing that's happened. We've lost Teoscar Hernandez. We did not offer Ross Stripling a qualifying offer. He is now, coursing with other teams and talking to them. And some of our main targets being Bellinger and Heaney, two players that a lot of analysts were looking at and being like, hey, those are great targets for the Blue Jays, and we had even offered them stuff. They're now on other squads.
Right.
So in that regard, I'm getting a tiny bit concerned here. I am starting, like, the panic meter, I wouldn't say it's red right now, but it's, it's rising for me.
Yeah, like, for me, I'm not panicking right now. I mean, those are two guys that, for me, seem like BC options. Like, they're not the guys that I'd want in this offseason, which, in a way, this is almost better. I mean, you're going to teams that are taking up space. They're like, okay, they're not going to be going for the guys I really want, which is Brandon Nimmo, Andrew Benintendi. Those are two big targets in the outfield that I actually want over Cody Bellinger. Because why? They actually can do it. Cody Bellinger was a dart throw team, which is picked up by the Cubs, who is a dart throw team. Maybe they get something out of him. And then for starting pitchers, you still got Carlos Rodon on the board, who obviously is kind of a dream scenario.
Yeah.
However, there are other guys that are also just as good, if not better than Andrew Heaney, like Stripling, like Bassett, Senga, Syndergaard, Evaldi, Walker, Tyone. Like, the list goes on.
Right.
There's so many guys still out there that we can easily grab, if not grab two of them.
Yeah. And I agree with you. Like, there is a lot of guys left on the board, and that's why we're not in full red panic mode right now. I know we've got a lot of comments basically saying, like, get off your asses, go do something. And I agree with that.
I agree with that.
I do agree with that, but we don't need to go into full panic mode yet. However, I will say there's a little bit of a cause for concern to me, because we were reportedly in on all of those guys and offering them deals. Like, we offered Andrew Heaney a contract. It's like we reportedly, I don't know if we sent an official offer, but we were very close to flirting with that Verlander thing, right? And I know with Cody Bellinger, like, he had multiple offers waiting. I could totally believe that the Toronto Blue Jays were one of them. So I think the one thing that I'm starting to get concerned about is I don't want to let this offseason pass us by trying to get the best deal, and then, whoa, we blink, it's, January now, and Brandon Nimmo and Carlos Rodon and all those guys aren't available, and now we're forced to trade a catcher, and we can't fill all the needs that we have,
I hear what you're saying. However, again, like, I still think they are smart enough to realize, like, okay, what are we willing to pay for someone like a Heaney on a 1 year, or like a 1 year kind of guy? He's had one good year. Bellinger, 3 years removed from MVP. It's like, what are we willing to pay? Okay, okay, this was our price. Someone beat us to it, like the Cubs, like the Rangers, teams that have nothing to lose, whereas all these competitive teams are like, yeah, I'm not ready to put this guy on my roster when I just don't know. Whereas I think with this, for sure, guys, we're willing to pump in a lot more money.
I will say, though, for Andrew Heaney's purposes, now you can make an argument for Cody Bellinger, but I think for Andrew Heaney's purposes, I would have been totally okay with that deal.
I would have.
It's not mine
Exactly.
millions of dollars.
Exactly.
But I mean, for those of you who don't know, he got signed to a 2-year, I believe it's $25 million contract where there's an option after 2023. So it's like he could go, right? It's like you might even only have 1 year. And for me personally, I saw that deal. I was like, that seems like money to me. Like that looks good. So I hope that the Blue Jays are saving their most competitive offers for the remaining guys on the board.
Yeah, like I said, you got Rodon. Obviously, that's guy you got to put up a big offer for. Bassett, Stripling, Syndergaard, I like. Evaldi, I like. Tyone, I like. Walker, I like. Senga, I like. I like all these guys. So maybe they, with Heaney, just wasn't that high, even though we've been talking about it. Right. The media's been talking about Heaney and the Blue Jays. Maybe they just said, okay, here's our offer, and then if you don't take it, we're going to move on and talk to these other guys.
It could have been more of like a dart throw offer, like, we're going to throw it out there. We'd be okay if we go down this route, but we know that we have other options available on free agency. Okay, I mean, I like where you're thinking at, and I think that that's kind of like the glass half full sort of scenario where it's like I'm taking the glass half empty, and there's definitely two ways to look at this.
Right.
At what point for you do we need to enter panic mode? Like, how many guys need to fly off the board, or like what needs to go down trade wise for us to be like, okay, this offseason is slipping away fast?
For me, I think it's separate, right? You got outfielders, got starting pitchers. I panic for two of those different, I panic differently for those categories.
Right.
If you see Nemo go and Benintendi go, yeah, time to panic. No one's going to replace Teoscar Hernandez production on a free agent market at all.
Yeah.
And then starting pitcher, there's a ton. So for me, you got to see a lot go. Like Rodon, if Rodon goes, yeah, okay, we missed out on the elites, but again, we're only looking to replace Ross Stripling, and there's many other guys that we mentioned in this video. So for me, it's going to take a few more guys for me to start thinking about panicking.
Okay, I hear you. But okay, also then, I guess let me phrase this. Would you be okay with this offseason if we go by and we just sign Ross Stripling back, and then, maybe we get like a lesser one, like we do get a Benintendi.
We do get Benintendi?
Well, maybe a Brantley and Stripling. Like, is that enough for you, or is that still like
I feel like we would step down just a bit. I mean, granted, I'm just thinking about Teoscar Hernandez trade, right? And how we got back the bullpen guy, really good bullpen guy in Eric Swanson. Yeah. And then basically it's like Teoscar Hernandez leaves, Stripling comes back. So all we're losing is Teoscar Hernandez.
Yes.
And then we're getting back elite bullpen guy, a filler Michael Brantley. And I'm like, that's okay. It's not the greatest. I mean, it's fine. You're asking a lot now from the guys currently on the team.
Yeah, I would say that we definitely did not upgrade, but we didn't downgrade too much. Like, it would have been close there. Everybody, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below about what we're talking about right here. This video could get outdated quickly. We might not even post it if in the next few hours the Toronto Blue Jays go out, they sign Rodon, everything's cool, right? There's definitely a lot of things here that are up in the air, a lot of dominoes still left to fall. But it is mildly concerning that some of the guys are flying off the board very quickly. Hopefully the Blue Jays do something soon.
Absolutely. And guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And $3 a month to become a Patreon member. Shout out and thank you to all of our current Patreon members. You guys are freaking awesome.
Thank you so much for watching.
And go Jays, go!